Nigeria, as I mentioned, came from 2 goals down to beat host nation Morocco 3-2 in the final of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, or WAFCON, last night. This is the record-extending 10th title for Nigeria. They called it Mission X, or Mission 10, as they return to the summit of women's football on the continent. Meanwhile, earlier in the week, Stellenbosch FC confirmed the permanent transfer of Academy graduate Tylon Smith to English Championship side Queen's Park Rangers. So for more on these stories and other stories that are making headlines in the world of football, we're joined by Senior Journalist at Soccer Laduma, Tshepang Mailwane. Tshepang, thanks so much for joining us. Let's look at a review of the 2024 WAFCON. And for people asking me why I'm calling it the 2024 WAFCON, is because it was meant to take place last year. Then because of the Paris Summer Olympic Games, it was moved to this year. I think it was interesting. The prize money was increased, but many people still saying that women's football needs to rise to another level due to sponsorships and things like that. We saw what happened with Banyana Banyana and payment problems. So just give us your overall sentiments of the tournament, from what happened on the pitch, but also what was happening off the pitch, Tshepang.
Yeah, it's true, man. I mean, it's firstly, good morning, Stacey, but it's true. There is a need for more money to come into women's football, but what I like, though, is that there has been some progress, especially when you've seen since Patrice Motsepe has come in as a CAF president. You can see that there's a lot more that they're trying to do, and it's better than no progress. You know, sometimes when there's no progress at all, then that's a concern. But the fact that slowly but surely, you know, they're trying to do things better. I mean, the new trophy as well, it looks so beautiful. So I'm happy that there is some sort of progress that is being done, but we do know that there's still a lot more for improvement. Women's football needs to grow. It needs to go to another level, and we need to see our teams not just doing well here, but even when they go to the World Cup or the Olympics, they're able to perform better because of the money and all the sponsorship that's coming in. But as well on the pitch, I was very happy. I mean, it's a very nice final when you have 5 goals. I always like finals that have goals. And
I know
Nigeria was so determined. Nigeria was so determined to get that number 10 in Spain. They call it La Decima. And you know, they did well. Coming back from 2 goals down is not always easy, especially when you're playing against a country that's a host. But Nigeria was so determined to get number 10, and they're showing again that they can be the top team in African football.
In fact, when I look at Nigeria, you know, someone posted on Facebook how many of the Nigerian team players are actually based abroad. I mean, we're talking about the US, we're looking at Italy, Turkey, even Mexico, England, Spain. This speaks to why this team is so formidable. In fact, probably they were coming back to try and avenge their last WAFCON, and they're just proving that they continue to grow just from a youth development perspective, but also making sure that their females are playing globally.
Yeah, that's true. And it's no surprise when you have a team that can win this tournament, get to the final as well, because of what they're being able to take overseas. I mean, we over the last few years have been able to do that, and I think it played a big role in us winning the WAFCON last time around, because we had more players going overseas. The concern for us was that we don't have, 1, a professional league in South Africa. 2, we're not getting enough players going overseas. But when that started happening, you could see the quality that is growing in these players. I mean, Jermaine, the quality that she had, Nokumatlo when she arrived, when she went overseas as well, Tembi Khatlana. So it's the same thing with Nigeria, although they obviously have been doing it for a longer period than we have. And now the team has just come together and, you know, bounced back to win a title. So it's very important for us to be sending players overseas, and we can see what it's doing for Nigeria. So hopefully we can have more of our players moving abroad so that they get the right experience, you know, to come now and claim AFCON and even do well whenever we go to the World Cup.
Do you think that Banyana perhaps missed an opportunity as coming in as defending champions to secure sponsorship, to make sure that when they were on so-called like past winning ways, and, you know, obviously we can go into a post-mortem about what happened in this particular tournament after Salgado's injury. They lost it mentally and emotionally, and they'll be analyzing and assessing that for days to come. But do you think that they missed that window window as coming in as defending champions to secure a sponsor moving forward and then perhaps take the team to higher heights? Because now all eyes are going to be on Coach Desiree Ellis and the questions are going to be asked, and not many people are able to look at this probably objectively at this point in time.
Yeah, maybe that first window was after they won WAFCON, sorry, because I think when you're champions of the continent, you have a bigger chance of attracting sponsorship immediately after you've won. I know Sasol has been on board for a long time, but I don't think one main sponsor is enough when it comes to women's football. I mean, Bafana have a few sponsors, so I think after that they could have done a bit more to ensure that this national team is well sponsored. And maybe if they had, gone out to see who's interested, you never know who you would have come in with. And then now going into this competition, like you mentioned, another opportunity to say, hey, we're going into this tournament as defending champions. We are the best team in Africa until someone dethrones us. Here's an opportunity to sponsor the national team. And maybe some people would have come on board. I mean, this is a big tournament. This is a tournament that so many people watched, and as being a sponsor of the national team, national women's team, could have been attractive to any sponsor. So yeah, I think yes, an opportunity was missed, but hopefully next time we learn from this and try to be more proactive. In terms of the performance, I would have loved to see a bit more from Banyana. You could tell that it was not quite the same team from the last time round. Yes, a few players were there. Tembi Khatlana, Nukumatlo had retired from the game, but at times there was no fluidity in their play. And for example, if we hadn't scored that penalty against Nigeria from Lenna Motlhalo, I don't think we were showing any signs of scoring a goal. So, it's time for us to go back, rebuild. I know people like Jermaine will no longer be there, so we need to use the next 2 years to ensure that we have a stronger team to reclaim that title.
Certainly. We've run out of time, unfortunately. I've got apparently just under 30 seconds. Tylon Smith moving to Queen's Park Rangers. Quickly, share your thoughts with me.
Yeah, very, very good move for the youngster. He's a top defender, and what I like is that his game is now going to go to another level. And hopefully QPR can win promotion to the Premier League, and, he'll play with the best. But good move, and it's good what Stellenbosch are doing with their youngsters.